Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something very simple, but also very important in everyday English: colors.
Hi, everyone. Yes, colors are everywhere in our lives, so they're a great topic to practice English in a relaxed way.
Exactly. We see colors when we get dressed, when we go shopping, when we describe places, and even when we talk about feelings.
That's true. And the nice thing is that color words are usually easy to remember and very useful from the beginning.
Let's start with the most basic colors that everyone knows. For example, red, blue, yellow, green, black, and white.
Yes, these are the first colors most learners learn, and they appear all the time in simple conversations.
For example, you might say, "I'm wearing a blue jacket today," or "My car is white."
Or in a shop, you might hear, "Do you have this shirt in black?" That's a very common situation.
Colors help us be more precise. Instead of saying, "I like that dress," you can say, "I like that red dress."
And that small detail already makes your English sound more natural and clear.
Let's talk a bit about clothes, because colors are very important there.
Definitely. When people talk about clothes, they almost always mention colors.
For example, I prefer dark colors in winter, like black or dark blue.
Yes, and in summer, many people say they like light colors, such as white, light blue, or beige.
Beige is a nice example of a color that is not basic, but very common in daily life.
Exactly. Other examples could be gray, brown, or pink.
Gray is interesting because it can be light gray or dark gray depending on the situation.
And that's a good moment to mention adjectives like light and dark, which we often use with colors.
Right, we say light green, light red, or dark blue.
It's very simple grammar, but very powerful for communication.
Now let's move to colors in places like cities or rooms.
Yes, when we describe a room, colors are essential.
For example, the living room has white walls and a brown sofa.
Or the kitchen is small, but it's very bright because it's yellow.
Colors also change how we feel in a place.
That's true. People often say that blue feels calm and relaxing.
Green is also associated with nature and calm feelings.
Yes, that's why many offices and homes use green plants.
On the other hand, red is often seen as a strong and energetic color.
Sometimes people say red can make you feel more active or even a bit nervous.
These ideas are very common, and you might hear them in conversations, even if they are not scientific.
Exactly. It's more about how people talk about colors and feelings.
Let's talk about colors and emotions in English expressions.
Good idea, because English has some very common expressions with colors.
For example, to feel blue means to feel sad.
Yes, and that can be confusing for learners at first, because blue is just a color.
Another example is green with envy, which means to be very jealous.
Or to see red, which means to be very angry.
These expressions are more advanced, but it's good to recognize them when you hear them.
And you don't need to use them immediately. Understanding them is already a big step.
Now let's go back to everyday situations, like shopping.
Yes, shopping is probably where learners use colors the most.
Imagine you are in a shoe store. You might say, "I like these shoes, but do you have them in black?"
Or the shop assistant might ask, "Do you want them in brown or in dark blue?"
Colors are also important when we talk about sizes and styles together.
For example, "I'm looking for a small white shirt."
That sentence is very simple, but it includes size, color, and the object.
And that's very practical English for real life.
Let's talk a bit about food and colors.
Yes, food is another area where colors appear a lot.
We often describe fruit and vegetables by their color.
For example, red apples, green apples, yellow bananas, or orange carrots.
Colors can also describe how food looks and if it's ready or not.
Yes, like when you say, "The meat is too brown."
or the bread is very dark,
Even drinks have colors that we mention.
like red wine, white wine, or dark coffee.
Good point. Now let's think about colors and personality.
Many people like to talk about their favorite color,
For example, my favorite color is blue because it makes me feel calm.
or I love black because it's elegant and easy to wear.
These are very common answers, and they're great for simple conversations.
Yes, especially when you're meeting someone new and want to talk about personal preferences.
Another simple question is, what color do you like?
Or, what's your favorite color? Very basic, but very useful.
Let's also mention colors in nature.
Nature is full of colors, and people love to describe them.
For example, the sky is blue, or the leaves are green.
In autumn, people often talk about brown, orange, and red leaves.
Yes, and those descriptions are very common in travel or personal stories.
Like saying, the village was beautiful with white houses and red roofs.
That kind of description helps the listener imagine the place.
Exactly, and that's why colors are so powerful in language.
Let's talk briefly about combining colors.
Yes, because some colors are often mentioned together,
For example, black and white.
or blue and green, especially in nature, like the sea and the land.
We also use colorful to describe something with many colors.
Like a colorful market or a colorful painting.
That word is very useful and easy to remember.
And it sounds very natural in everyday English.
Before we finish, let's give a small listening tip to our listeners.
Good idea.
When you listen to English, pay attention to colors in simple descriptions.
Yes, and try to repeat those sentences in your head or out loud.
For example, she's wearing a red dress, or the room is light and white.
These small sentences help you build confidence.
Colors are simple, but they connect to many topics: clothes, places, feelings, and daily life.
And that makes them perfect for A2 to B1 learners.
So today, we encourage you to notice colors around you and try to name them in English.
Even something very small, like saying, my mug is blue, is good practice.
That's all for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed this relaxed conversation about colors.
Yes, thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.